Today, we're diving into one of the most chilling and just plain baffling maritime mysteries of all time. We're talking about the ghost ship, the SS Orang Medan. Now, this is a story that kicks off with a terrifying message and then just ends in complete dark silence. Yeah, you heard that right. Those were some of the very last words ever heard from the ship. It was this frantic, totally fragmented message that just painted a picture of pure terror right before it all cut out. So, what in the world could have happened on that boat? Okay, so let's set the scene. The year is 1948. We're out in the Strait of Malacca, which is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the entire world. The seas are calm, skies are clear, a totally normal day. But that peace and quiet is about to be absolutely shattered by a distress call that is unlike anything anyone had ever heard before. Now, this signal wasn't some crackly voice fighting through static on the radio. No, this was Morse code, a clear, deliberate series of dots and dashes. And you gotta remember, this system was designed to be super reliable over huge distances. So that means the message that came through was received exactly as it was sent. And what it said, well, it was horrifying. So the first part of the message was alarming, for sure, but it seemed kind of straightforward. An SOS from a ship called the SS Orang Medan, and they need a doctor. Okay, sounds like a standard, though obviously urgent, medical emergency at sea. But the message, it wasn't done yet. Almost immediately, a second message comes through, and the situation has just escalated, big time. We've gone from one person needing a doctor to, well, people are dead. And now they're asking for a warship? That suggests a threat way, way beyond a medical problem. After this part, there was just one last garbled transmission, something like, I die. And then nothing. Just static. Luckily, that desperate call was picked up by a ship that happened to be nearby, an American merchant ship called the Silver Star. Its captain didn't even hesitate. He immediately changed course, pushed the engines to full throttle, and started racing toward the Orang Medan's last known location, probably bracing for the worst. So as the Silver Star gets closer, the rescue crew starts to realize something is deeply, deeply wrong here. The Orang Medan isn't on fire, it's not sinking. In fact, it looks perfectly fine, just floating silently there on the water. But there are zero signs of life. No smoke from the chimney, not a soul on deck, and absolutely no answer to their hails or their ship's horn. It was a ghost ship. The captain of the Silver Star knew he had to get some answers. So he gets a boarding party together, their mission, get over to that silent ship and figure out what's going on. But you know what? Nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared them for what they were about to find. The second their boots hit the deck, the mystery became a full-blown horror story. Every single person on that ship was dead. But it wasn't just that they were dead, it was how they found them. They were scattered all over the ship, and every single crew member was frozen in this posture of absolute terror. Their eyes were wide open, mouths agape, faces locked in a silent scream, like they all saw something completely unspeakable in their last moments. And this is where the story gets really, really weird. Despite the sheer terror etched on every single face, there were no signs of violence, not a single wound, no signs of a struggle anywhere. From the captain on the bridge to the radio operator at his station, even the ship's dog was found dead with a snarl on its face, and yet all of them were physically untouched. How is that possible? The rescue team was just completely baffled. They decided the only thing to do was to try and tow the ship to the nearest port so it could be investigated properly. But it turns out the Orang Medan had one last terrible secret up its sleeve. Right as they were getting ready to attach the tow lines, smoke starts pouring out of one of the cargo holds, and within just a few minutes, it's a raging inferno. The boarding party had no choice. They had to get out of there. They scrambled back to the Silver Star just moments before a massive explosion literally ripped the Orang Medan apart, sending it and its dead crew straight to the bottom of the sea. And just like that, all the evidence was gone. Forever. So, with the ship and all of its secrets lying at the bottom of the ocean, the only thing we have to go on is the story told by the crew of the Silver Star. And in the decades since, with no physical evidence to study, a bunch of pretty compelling theories have popped up to try and explain the unexplainable. All right, let's break these down.
The most logical theory points to some kind of lethal unregistered cargo, maybe a mix of potassium cyanide, which could release a suffocating gas if it mixed with seawater, and maybe some unstable nitroglycerin, which would explain that final boom. Then there's a much darker theory that connects the ship to the infamous Japanese Unit 731, suggesting it was secretly moving deadly biological weapons after the war. That would definitely explain the secrecy. But then you have the supernatural. I mean, it's the only idea that even tries to explain those faces, that look of pure, unadulterated terror. What could they have seen?
And this story gets even weirder. In 2003, the CIA declassified a letter from way back in 1958 that talks directly about the orang medan. The writer says he's sure that if we could solve this one mystery, it could explain a lot of other strange disappearances at sea. The fact that the CIA held onto this piece of paper for 45 years has only made the conspiracy theories grow. Why was an intelligence agency so interested in this one ghost ship? So what really happened out there? Was it smuggled chemicals, a secret military operation that went horribly, horribly wrong? Or was it something else entirely? Whatever the truth is, it went down with the ship, along with its terrified crew. And that leaves us right back where we started, with that one haunting question. What secrets sank with the Orang Medan?